So we're filming a series with Kath. Kath's Instagram handle is uncluttered by Kath, and it's worth heading over to her Instagram page or onto her website to see what services she can provide to you as a homeowner. But we're doing it as part of our Big Worcestershire Garage Sale series, and I paired up with Kath last year to make sure we gave you some sound advice in terms of what you can do to get the best out of the weeks leading up to the garage sale, and then what you could do afterwards. We've set this room up. This is not my garage at all, but we set this room up for this purpose. And Kath's going to very kindly help out with some of the questions that we've got. So we're going to talk about how to prepare items for selling at the garage sale, and also what items you should choose. So with my questions, I will ask you, what criteria should individuals consider when they're selecting items to sell at a garage sale? So what criteria should they think
Yeah,
of?
so I think we talked about it last year as well, but things that you've never used for a start. So obviously if they've still got the tags on it, if they're still in the original packaging, then obviously that's a quick win for someone, because actually they're not even just buying something to use themselves. They could potentially be buying something as a gift, rather than going to the shops. Possibly smaller items, because again, we don't know how many people will just take the opportunity to just have a good walk around their local town, so they're only going to have a few shopping bags. They don't necessarily want to be taking the bigger items. Obviously there might be bigger items you want to sell, and you can arrange for delivery or collection of those at another time, but I think the main thing is focus on smaller items. And then my last sense check is always, if you're like, oh, I just don't know, I might want to wear it again. If you haven't worn it in the last 2 years, or if you haven't used it in the last 2 years, you're probably not going to use it again. And if you maybe thought about, you could use last year as an example. So if you didn't use it in the last year since you thought about it for last year's garage sale, then this is probably the year to go.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? That there's a room upstairs that actually has still got some items that we didn't get to sell. So the price will be coming down on those items this year. Are there certain items that tend to sell well? Is there certain things that are going to sell on the day? Obviously,
I think it's the things that people do use regularly on a daily basis. So if you're going to get mainly fit people with families come in, then it's going to be toys, it's going to be books, it's going to be clothes. I suppose you're almost trying to put yourself in the mindset of a charity shop. What are the things that you see most in a charity shop? Because those are the things that people are looking for. So I would say mainly those.
Super. And how should items be cleaned, organised and priced for optimal sales success? What should people do to get the best?
Yeah, I think be realistic. You don't want to spend hours of your life cleaning items just for the sake of it. But equally, if it's got something obvious that could be removed, then great. Obviously, make sure that the area you're selling from is relatively easy to sell from and use. So obviously, if you were using this, you probably would need to have a bit of a clear out.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean.
And then in terms of pricing, we talked about it last year, but round price points. You're not someone who wants to be giving away pennies and 2p's every 5 minutes, are you? So don't think, oh yeah, great, I'll sell that for £3.99.
No.
Just make it £4 or make it £3.50 or something.
Good idea. Save you a bit of a job with your petty cash as well. So how can you price things competitively without undervaluing them?
I suppose the best thing is looking at what else is out there. So for example, that when you use Vinted, it always tells you what other people are selling their items for. So if you've got an item and you're not sure, go to eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and just see what else is out there. And I suppose it's how important is it to you to sell that on that day. If it's absolutely you want it gone, you probably need to go a bit more competitive. If you're 50-50, then put it a little bit higher, knowing that you're not overly fussed if it doesn't go straight away. And
I've got a tip actually, because on the day I sold some Sonos speakers and I took some photos and I posted on my social media in the morning that I was selling them in the Big Worcestershire Garage Sale, and I had 3 messages within 10 seconds for those speakers. So you can help promote your stuff rather than just expecting the right person to be on your street on the day. You could actually help to advertise what you are planning on selling. It's your chance to do that on your own social media. It will bring more foot traffic to your street, which will be great for your neighbours as well. But it might get you the right price that you're asking for, as opposed to someone kind of taking it off your hands and getting you chipped on it. So
trying to negotiate. And I suppose people have networking WhatsApp groups and stuff for their neighbourhoods and stuff, don't they? And there's next door and stuff. So I suppose just put it out there, your big ticket items or your high priority items that you think will attract people.
So we just talked about obviously using your own social media channels to promote the fact that you are selling stuff, and also some of the items you're planning on selling. But is there anything else that people could adopt as a strategy to get more people to stop at their home, or know that they're doing it?
Yeah, I think when I went round last year, I saw some people putting their own signs out. Perhaps if you're the 6th or 7th house down the road, you want to make sure you've got something to kind of advertise that you're also participating. Once you get to your house, maybe just have something out the front, and maybe put your kind of most interesting items out the front as well, with some good signage or whatever, to just kind of get people interested in you.
Very good point. I remember Sajith, our videographer, that's holding the camera right now. There's footage of him picking up a Formula One shirt. I think that took his attention very quickly. So things like that are a great idea as well. So it's coming 8th of June, the Big Worcestershire Garage Sale. Please do give Kath a follow. Look out for the advice that she's got. There's also going to be something you're going to make available for people, is that right?
Yeah, we had some downloads, so we'll refresh the downloads available this year. So there's mainly things about helping you plan for it and then how to kind of price point it. So they'll be through my Instagram, and then obviously we'll get them loaded up through your sites as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Kath.
Okay.